Good morning, good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Let me just make sure we're all up here. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Good morning, Zoom guys. Welcome, everyone. Zoom guys, Michael, Anthony, Corey, welcome back. Joe, Patrick, Michael, good morning, guys. Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Tuesday, guys. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Let me just make sure we see everyone. Where are we? Good morning, Jaden, Mac, Clay, Patrick. What's going on, guys? Good to be back. Yeah, good to have you back, man. Good to have you back. Audio and video good. Awesome. Thank you, man. YouTube guys, welcome back as well. Happy Tuesday, everyone. If any guys are new here, welcome. My name is Aaron, also known as Aaron Trades. I've been trading for the past 7 years and mainly focusing on gold futures here in the European sessions. So gold having a nice little sell-off this morning, which is good. Better than gold ripping all-time highs. So nice to see gold starting to finally find some resistance, which is good. Because yesterday it was pretty tough to trade gold. You kind of just sorry, where was it here? Pretty tough to trade gold. You just ended up having a straight rip up. I did actually. I was a bit of a trader yesterday. I did trade NQ yesterday instead. I traded NQ in the New York session. Got a nice trade, which we can have a look at as well. But yeah, Goldie finding some resistance up here, which is good. Like I say, having a pullback, although it's a big sell-off and I'm not in shorts, it's better than price just ripping all-time highs and you kind of get stuck up here. So let's just let me just adjust these levels a little bit here. We'll see what we get for the day, guys. Remember, we don't just trade gold. We'll break down some other markets for you guys as well. Anything else you guys on YouTube, Zoom are looking at, feel free to send it over. And NQ NFP swings were insane. Yeah, NQ was I was actually looking for NQ to come a bit higher yesterday, to come back up into them NFP highs, which I do think we'll probably get there maybe today. But yeah, NFP had some ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous moves on NFP. You know, huge move up, and then an absolutely insane sell-off, almost 400 points, and then right back up, which was huge. So the trade I took yesterday was a buy on the bottom wick of a 30-minute. You know, we had this nice breakout yesterday. We spoke about this this level here, holding in London to come up, and I think we had these highs in the London session, tagged our highs, pulled back, finally broke out. Then I took the longs from here to here. It was nice 5-minute morning star play on a 30-minute bottom wick, just from here to here. Nice little quick trade yesterday, in that like 10 minutes. So we'll see what we get for NQ for the day. We'll have a look at gold as well. Before we do anything, let's have a quick look at the news. I don't believe we have anything here today. Yeah, nothing. Rodrigo's here. Nothing really of interest here today. Tomorrow, though, tomorrow is a big day. We got core PPI tomorrow, which is going to be very, very big. And then on Thursday, obviously, we have the big CPI on Thursday. And then Friday, we have consumer sentiment as well. So we are in for a pretty busy week from Wednesday onwards. So from Wednesday onwards, that's when we'll start to see more of the bigger moves, maybe on something like NQ. I mean, gold's having the big moves regardless. So let's get rid of some of this analysis from yesterday. I think this daily's close to flipping bearish here on gold. Yeah, very, very, very close. Now, I'm not really too eager on shorting gold. You know, gold is still, as we know, very, very, very bullish. You pretty much just tapped right into 3,700 as well. Didn't quite get there, but you know, you're basically there. We kind of give these round psychological levels, you know, like 10 to 20 ticks either side. So I basically class this as tapping into that 3,700 level and starting to find some resistance, tagging previous daily highs. So could gold get a bit of a pullback? I mean, maybe. Do we want to start selling gold on the fact that we might pull back? Not really. You know, trend is friend, and the trend has been incredibly, incredibly bullish. This has probably been, I would say, probably the biggest year that gold may have ever seen. From, where are we? From the lows of January, you know, gold's up, what, 33% which is just insane for gold. 33% a year is just absolutely crazy. Let's go into some of these levels. We don't care too much about these anymore. So yeah, still very, very bullish here. There was very, very nice buys in Asia, which you guys on Zoom, I did share on Discord, the Asia fake out buys, which some of you guys did take, which was amazing. The Asia buys were fantastic. It was our plan to an absolute T. I'll just quickly show you guys. So what was the plan for Asia? Well, obviously continue looking for longs. When you see this hourly break back below support, you don't short that. That's where most people try and short and get trapped on the wrong side. But once you grab blows and close back above, that's your beautiful buy opportunity right there. That was an amazing, amazing, amazing buy. Which, on the flip of this candle, you know, up into these highs, gave back 120 ticks, which was amazing. Did any other guys get that as well? Any guys on YouTube manage to get that? It was huge, absolutely huge. I know some of you guys are. I know some of you guys in Discord got it. I was wondering if anyone on YouTube got it who knows the plan. Yeah, nice, Jack. Nice, good man. That was an absolutely textbook trade. Close bearish, tag the lows, bullish. Nice fake out confirmation and beautiful squeeze up into yesterday's high. A very, 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 very nice trade. So we kind of want to be looking for something. Bruno did nice, Bruno, nice. That's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, some of you guys did nice. Oh, nice one. In an NQ long. Oh yeah, beautiful. What's that? Hourly time frame. Yeah, nice. I like that. Looks like it's having a bit of a decent squeeze. So for Goldie here, we're starting to get a bit of movement here, and I am looking to see pretty much the same thing here for London. You know, I don't chase this sell-off here. I see this sell-off as a pullback to continue buying. So I see this sell-off here and go, this is great. If we, you know, start breaking back above, we could have some nice longs here today. A lot of people see this sell-off here and be like, oh, damn, like I'm gonna get short. Let me try and jump in shorts, and then before you know it, you end up ripping right back above. So if we get a decent fake out here, we have the possibility to buy gold back up into these pre-London highs. You know, we already kind of tagged some Asian highs, pulled back. But if we get this strong of a reaction on the 30-minute fake out, hourly massive wick rejection. So there is the potential for longs. You're also tagging previous 4-hour lows, holding 4-hour resistance. You do also have previous 4-hour highs. Let me have a look at the currency. Yeah, currency's looking all right. Hourly's looking good. Bit of an evening star though, so I would want to see this hourly candle actually close. Because to me, this looks like an evening star play to push lower. But again, we'll see how we react on the support. 1.4k, nice. Now close to passing in combine. About 1.6 left. 150, yeah, amazing, man. It's amazing. 1.6 left is really, really good. We've got big news tomorrow as well, so that's your trade for the day, though. If you guys did get that, that's your play for the day. You know, don't give it back on times where gold is pushing as high as it is. Yeah, everyone's speaking about where are we? Everyone's speaking about Bitcoin. I know Bitcoin is having a bit of a push intraday, but really moving too much. I don't day trade Bitcoin, but it's not really doing anything that crazy. It's just a nice little bounce here from Asia as well. Locked out for the day. Yeah, nice. Let's just have a quick look at this NQ chart that Sean traded, because this is actually looking nicer. So here on NQ, how did we close yesterday? So we did close nice and bullish. We broke back above our key level of 23,750, which is very, very nice. So next target, you know, look how many daily highs you have here. Even if gold was going to get, NQ was going to get a bit of a pullback, too used to saying gold, you know, you got some very nice equal daily highs up here. So you're very likely going to see a liquidity grab up into these highs. So longs on NQ into yesterday's and Friday's NFP high does look pretty nice here. These candles are starting to get a little bit smaller though. Look at this. Kind of looks to me like you want to get a little bit of a pullback maybe. But then again, look at this hourly chart. This is what's looking nice here. Nice morning star play here. Came down, grabbed the lows, held support. Already having a nice push. So I do like these longs as well. NQ could give some plays here today. How much did I get yesterday? About 43. What do you have up into these highs? Yeah, about another 43, which is pretty nice. Yeah, nice. Fake out seems to head London Open. Yeah, this is good. This is what we want to see on gold. So we want to see this candle close to then see if we can get these longs. You're about to get a very nice 15-minute fake out. Let's have a look here. Got a nice 15-minute morning star play here. Look at this. Rejected, grab the lows, held support. So if you can get a pullback, you know, it's not a bad area to see if you can get some potential longs here on gold before the London Open. The thing is, if you were taking this flip, you'd probably be risking off any closure back below there, up into these highs. What would you be risking? About 60 to maybe make 100. It's a pretty big target for London. These ranges are pretty big here now, which is good. You know, it means we can get some good trades, but also means we don't have to rush it. From the highs to the lows here, gold's already dropped 200 ticks, which is a very decent move for gold before the London Open. So even if, let's say, gold today is going to range in between here, we could actually play this range pretty well. There's like a 100 tick range. That's amazing. I'll absolutely trade a 100 tick range. Personally, though, I'm going to wait for the London Open here on gold. Although you did get a nice 15-minute morning star here, to me this hourly could still close pretty bearish. The higher the time frame, the more important it is. So if this hourly closes bearish, then that 15-minute bullish morning star setup doesn't really mean too much. So personally, I want to see this London Open here for gold. But yeah, I like that. I like that NQ trade, Sean. I think that looks good, man. Yeah, NQ to at least come up into yesterday's high looks like a pretty decent trade. But then from there, you might get that pullback. The only thing I would be wary of is these 4-hour candles are getting pretty small. Like to me, I mean, again, you trade what you see, which is the hourly's breaking out. But to me, this 4-hour looks like you could do it for a bit of a liquidity grab. So it looks like you could maybe come down and grab some lows. And then again, like I say, you look at this hourly, but you just had it. So reacting to buying this 7 AM candle makes a lot of sense. It's maybe just something that I would be aware of. But NQ longs today, overall, do look very, very nice. Do look very nice. Let me just have a look here. We got London Open in about 12 minutes, 13 minutes, 8 AM London time. And we'll have a look at some other markets as well, guys. We'll have a look at some currencies. We can have a look at copper and silver as well. Like I say, anything you guys are looking at, feel free to send it over. We'll see what trades we get here for the day. A nice pullback here on gold. I want to see this. I want to see this London Open. But yeah, the main news is going to come tomorrow. That's where the fun's going to be. 1:30 London time. Core PPI is going to be very, very big for gold. Good morning, Chow. Good morning, man. Hey, Aaron. Hey, man. What's up? Do you take trending trades if there's no liquidity to trade into? Or do you only trade if there are stops to take out? Well, I mean, even if it's a continuation trade, as long as you're not peaking all-time highs, there's always highs to come up and grab. So like this Asia play, this is a continuation trade, but you still have liquidity. There's always going to be some sort of highs to the left that you're buying into, unless, like I say, you're peaking all-time highs. But if you're in price discovery levels, then I'm not buying all-time highs anyway. But you always have something to the left of interest. But I mean, you know, let's say for this example, say if you buy here, but you don't really have a liquidity target because you kind of already tagged the lows here and broke out. If I can still see, you know, a bit of a pullback here for 100 plus ticks, maybe I'm not targeting these highs, or 50 ticks, yeah, you know, I can still take that. As long as there has been a liquidity grab for entry, which you can see there has been here. You came down, tagged lows, you broke out. So let's say if I was buying from here, maybe I just saw a potential bit of a pullback. Could I still take that trade? Yeah, definitely. 60 ticks? Absolutely. I don't always have to target the very highs. You know, I might kind of see this as a maybe sort of reversal level. You know, you might have something like this. So I might buy from here and exit that high. As long as I have a liquidity grab for entry, yeah, you can still take them trades, man. Definitely. Can we look at ES? Yep, absolutely. We can look at ES, definitely. Would you say gold has been making clearer moves than NQ? Yesterday, not really. I found it pretty tough to trade gold yesterday, only because gold, to me, the longs yesterday were at 7 a.m. And then after this point, you know, up here, I found it pretty hard to trade this in New York. And then you end up having just a huge breakout. There's no real sort of pullbacks. So for yesterday, I would say NQ was much nicer. That's why I traded NQ yesterday. But all in all, you know, if we were to take the past, you know, couple of years or couple of months or whatever, do I find gold to make clearer moves than NQ? Personally, yes. For trading the way that I like to trade in my sessions, which is here in London, yeah, I feel like gold gives cleaner moves for the way that I like to trade personally. Dude, I wish I can be you. Every time I come to your live, your background keeps changing. Hey, it's a green screen, man. It's just a green screen. Just like to change the green screen every now and again. Nah, this is my this will be the background for the next this will be the background for the next few months. Yeah, can we look at ES? Absolutely. Let's have a look at ES. We got time here. We got London Open in 10 minutes. So let's have a look here. So let's get rid of all of this analysis. Let's do some fresh analysis. So the only thing is with ES, you know, you're pretty much very close to that all-time high. You know, you're back at the all-time high resistance. I think NQ has nicer room. You're already tagging yesterday's high as well, which NQ hasn't got there, but ES is there, so it's something to be aware of. Again, kind of similar to NQ. I kind of see this, and you go, this is a... Where are we? This is a pretty decent move up for the Asian session. You know, you had a very nice fake out yesterday. Tagged highs bearish, straight back bullish to end the session, and now you're squeezing higher. So you kind of already had a pretty decent push. So would I want to be getting long up here? Personally, not. I can see a potential bit of a pullback. Now, does that mean we just start selling for no reason? Of course not. We'd try and see what the lower time frame is telling us. But to me, this higher time frame looks like there's the potential for a pullback. But then again, same as NQ. I look at this and go, okay, cool. Regardless of what the higher time frame showed me, intraday, you're tagging lows and you're breaking higher. So could we be coming back up to... Let's get rid of this. To these levels back up here on ES around, you know, 65.25-ish. You can do that. 65.25. Could we be filling this range? Yeah, I mean, as long as we close bullish here in 8 minutes for the London Open, I feel like this could continue pushing up. But again, you know, I would keep in the back of my mind that if you do start maybe closing bearish and having some fake outs, there is the possibility of coming back down to liquidate some 4-hour lows. You know, I kind of look at this 4-hour time frame here. Not as much on ES, but more so NQ. I look at this and I go, this could easily come down for a bit of a liquidity wick before then seeing this push. So, right now, the most logical trade to look at would be longs. You're grabbing lows, you're breaking out. React to longs. If you do close back below, then you have some potential shorts down into 4-hour lows. But again, it's one of them where you cross that bridge when you get to it. This would be probably a pretty decent first barrier, actually. Look at this nice resistance, broke, support. So maybe you can come up into this 20 to 21 level. Let me have a look at gold on the currency chart here. Yeah, gold holding up. This 15-minute is going to be very key here on gold. You can get that hourly close in London Open. But yeah, personally, I do think NQ looks nicer than ES here this morning because you do still have more targets. Where's your target, Sean? Yesterday's high? Oh, NFP high? Yeah, nice. NFP high. Dude, I wish I can see that one. Hey, Aaron, can you talk about your approach to trading news? Do you generally avoid release time? Love your approach, by the way. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Planning on Traders Club after the first payout. Sounds awesome, Matt. My approach to news is just be aware of when news is coming out. Do I trade news? Personally, I don't. Not on funded accounts. Sometimes I might have some higher time frame positions on a personal, but I don't trade news. It depends on how high impact it is, to be honest, and I'll watch it and see how volatile it is as it's coming out. But something like NFP, I just completely avoid it. I just don't trade on NFP days. Like, I actually could have bought gold on NFP because it actually made a lot of sense. So it's like, yeah, I could have made money trading NFP. I also could have lost a lot of money. So to me, the risk to reward and mental capital and potentially going on tilt if I go wrong in a news trade isn't really worth it. So I personally just prefer to, you know, watch the news come out, let the dust settle, and then trade. Give it at least, like, you know, 15 to 30 minutes. Again, all depends on how impactful it really is. You know, sometimes you can have news come out, doesn't really end up doing that much, so you can kind of trade as normal. Sometimes it ends up having, you know, like a couple of 100 tick move. Therefore, then I'll wait. But what I do find with news is, before news, my levels are majority of the time always in play first. So my direction is always there. My liquidity levels are always there. News is just volume. So that's why, you know, I'll take more of a swing trade with news on personal into liquidity levels because I can handle the drawdown. But on the funded accounts, I don't want to potentially, because, you know, even if NFP is going to have a big move up on gold, although it's pretty clean here on Friday, sometimes, you know, you can get them big moves down first before then you have the real move. So I can sometimes hit my drawdowns on the funded accounts before it then does have the move. So funded accounts, I completely avoid it. Personal accounts, I will trade it if I have good liquidity levels. Like, one thing I'll see, we got 3 minutes long though, but we've got time here, guys. One thing, you know, you guys know the way that I like to trade is, I like to trade, like, you know, this is just an example of a setup, like something like this. You know, when I see something like this, I kind of picture that, okay, cool. I would imagine most people are trying to short here, you know, risking off this high. And sometimes news can be what gives it that huge to come up, can give it that volume that comes up for these massive liquidity grabs. So sometimes, you know, you could hold a perfect third touch of a trend line right before news. News comes out and then absolutely sends it higher. Because trying to short third touch of a trend line, unfortunately, just doesn't work anymore. And that's where most people get trapped. Why can I not move my screen? So, if I have a setup like this forming... It's my mouse being funny. If I have a setup like this forming before news, then yeah, great. You know, I can maybe swing along or look to trade. But if I don't have any liquidity levels, I'll wait. It's kind of all dependent on the setup and the time. Yeah, too much. We've got 2 minutes till London Open here, guys. Let's have a look here. Oh, nice patch. Let's have a look. Your Morning Star and Evening Star strategy inspired me to create a script that generates alerts for potential setups, so I can step away from the charts and wait. Wow, nice. So I built a script that can send an alert of the second bar of a Morning Star or Evening Star pan. Wow, nice. That's amazing, Patrick. Let me have a look, man. I'll keep that for after. That's amazing, man. I'll absolutely plug that in. Let me save this. Yeah, morning, evening star, flip trigger. Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's amazing, Patrick. Appreciate it, man. I'll absolutely get that on the charts. That's awesome, man. All credit for strategy goes to Aaron Trades. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's awesome. I'll definitely add that to my screen, man. That's amazing. That's exactly what we need. An alert every time a morning, evening star comes up. Morning, evening star comes up would be amazing. Especially if you can set it to the higher time frame as well. Wait for, like, you know, 4 hourly and hourly ones to come up. Are you trading the NAS 100 pair? No, we're trading NQ. This is NQ futures. Same thing. If you come from a currency background, US 100 or NAS 100, whatever it's called, is just NQ, NASDAQ. So NQ is just the futures, but we're trading futures here, man. I don't trade currency pairs anymore, personally. Yeah, anchor time frame. Nice. If you say 30-minute, we'll show. Yeah, amazing. That's awesome, man. Good job. That's amazing. But no, I used to trade currency pairs. I do not trade currency pairs anymore. Futures is Futures is way better in my opinion. Should have made the transition to futures sooner. How many full-time traders do you have in your community? There's quite a few. Some trade full-time, some trade part-time with other part-time jobs or businesses as well. A lot of the people, the goal isn't really just full-time solely on trading. The goal for a lot of people is part-time trading with other part-time businesses. Now, we just got that London Open close there. Let's have a look at the currency chart. Let's have a see that hourly closure. So there's a pretty decent hourly rejection there on gold, but you did still close pretty bearish. There's a possibility that gold still squeezes lower here. I think we might get a wick fill here on gold. You kind of had that evening star play. So let's clean this up here for a second. Let's look at some analysis. So you did have a very nice rejection of this support here. You came down, grabbed the lows, held support. But you did also have a very key evening star here. Look at the evening star. So you rejected, tagged the highs, held resistance, pushed lower. Now I'm wondering if you are going to get a wick fill here on gold. I don't know if I trust this wick rejection. I think there's the possibility that we may come down and fill in these lows here. You know, although you did get this nice rejection, you can still see you know these wick rejections on the hourly time frame. This is lower time frame intraday support and resistance. So you got big intraday resistance, which you still have closed below. So a pullback, and you may go lower here on gold. It's a little bit tough to read here. So you have intraday, you got a nice break above, break back below. That's that hourly wick rejection. Resistance, broke above, pushed, broke below, broke back above. So you got hourly support here, hourly resistance here. You can kind of even, let's see if we can adjust this a little bit. I want to try and make a tighter range so we can look for a bit of a better breakout. You can kind of see something like this. Looks pretty nice. So above we could see some longs, below we could see some shorts down into that 7 AM. Hourly close here on NQ. Let's have a look. So to be honest, I think NQ looks much nicer right now. You tag the lows, you close bullish. If you can get a little bit of a pullback, I think NQ is looking much nicer here. NQ longs are looking pretty good here. I think it's looking nicer than gold, that's for sure. Pre-London streams on your channel coming back soon. I will try and do them soon. I will try. It's just very tough to do an hour on my channel and then another hour here on Topstep as well. Sorry, hour and a half here on Topstep. So 2.5 hours of pure screen time is a little bit tough. But I will try and bring them back soon, absolutely. If not, I do have lots of content coming soon. My only thing is the pre-London is just that I sometimes found that we just ended up watching it for way too long, not doing very much before London Open. But there has been some decent pre-London volume this week. So we'll keep an eye on it. If the markets start moving pre-London, yeah, we'll absolutely consider it, man, for sure. Yeah, I am, Damon, yeah, man. Oh, wait, I just said, yeah, I am. You asked 2 questions. I answered the first one. Good morning, man. What is your VUP settings? Good morning to you too, man. And is it as part of your... not really, to be honest, man. It's not something I will execute trades off. It's something I just like to keep on my charts, to be honest. I just like to see where it is. But I just have the very standard ones here. What kind of move could confirm an all-time high reversal for gold? I mean, you're not that far away from all-time high, so honestly, not that much. You know, maybe a breakout here could easily come back up into all-time highs. All-time highs on gold was just printed. All-time highs on gold was printed an hour and a half ago, right here. So not that much. Gold's been on an absolutely phenomenal run. Crazy run. And unfortunately as well, didn't have a swing position on this. I would have absolutely loved to. But yeah, not you wouldn't take that much to see gold all-time highs. You know, the thing is though, we have been very bullish for quite some time, so I think a pullback on gold would be healthy. Now we do have some Asia lows down here, so I don't really trade Asia highs and lows, but I kind of look at this high time frame. There is the possibility of having a bit of a pullback, but look at this high time frame. You know, if this 4 hour flips bullish, you'll see more all-time highs. So maybe a closure back above this 36.90 level, back up into all-time highs, would give us a nice minimum 100 tick trade, which would be very nice. So that's all. That's the only thing I think we'd really need to see here. Break out of this range and you could see some new all-time highs on gold. Hi Aaron, hey man. Has gold become more challenging to trade than the last few weeks? Last few weeks, not really, to be honest, man. Yesterday, yes, tough, but past few weeks, no, I think it's been given pretty decent opportunities, man. You've just been breaking highs. It's been really nice to trade continuation trades. I think some people who have been finding gold hard to trade the past few weeks have been having more so a hard time to accept that gold isn't the market that hits all-time highs and pulls back. I always say to you guys, you know, gold's one of them markets where if gold's ripping, gold's ripping. Don't expect a pullback to happen, or don't think a pullback is going to happen. Gold's not the market that is going to pay you for what you think. If gold's pushing, gold's pushing. And the easiest trades the past few weeks has just been literally following this. So my daily bias since I think since back down on the 25th of August has just been longs the whole time. It's just been longs. I haven't had a bearish daily bias coming onto the charts once since all the way back down here. Even back down here, 20th of August, when you had these huge fake outs. Tag lows, fake outs. I've been bullish on gold since down here. Now, I didn't know we were going to come all the way up here, of course. But my higher time frame bias from all the way down here has just been buying. I haven't taken any sell positions. So for me, I haven't really found it too hard. But again, you know, just because I haven't found it hard and someone else might have found it hard doesn't mean I'm right and you're wrong. You know, there'll be times where I'll go through times on gold and I'll find it really tough, and other people find it really easy to read. That's just trading, man. You know, you're not going to get it right every time. You're going to have quiet periods in the markets. You know, you're going to have losing weeks, losing months. It's part of the game. So just like I say, just because I say it has been okay to trade recently, don't hear that and be like, oh, damn, I must be doing something wrong. If you have a plan that you know works, man, every single trading plan is going to go through good times, and it's going to go through quiet times, and it's going to go through drawdown times. It's part of the business. Part of the business, part of the fun, man. So don't, and again, this is what's important though. When people do go through them tough times and the quiet times in the markets, that's where they start switching everything up. You know, they start changing strategies and jumping to that new shiny indicator. But you have to accept that if you know your plan well enough, you know every single trading plan out there has good times and it has quiet times and it has drawdown times. But overall, you should still be massively up. Yeah, pre-London too early. Yeah, pre-London is a little bit early. Yeah, it is. I like my little morning routine here. Euro futures, yeah, absolutely. We can have a look at the euro. We had a look at the euro yesterday as well. Let's have a look. We've got time here on gold. We've got time on NQ as well. So euro futures, remember yesterday, guys, we talked about this breakout level here on the euro. We ended up pushing very, very, very well. And you guys who were here yesterday, we spoke about the euro coming back up into these highs here. You guys go back and watch yesterday's stream. We said if we can, you know, break out, pull back to this area, amazing buy as well. It's pretty much exactly what you did. Euro ended up having a very nice push. Didn't push, took pretty much the whole day. But euro is not one of them markets that I personally will sit here and scalp. It's a market, you know, where you'll maybe take a trade and you'll hold it for a good couple of hours. But it also means you don't have to sit there and watch it. So, yeah, lovely push up yesterday on the euro. I don't know if anyone took that. I know you guys on Zoom don't trade it, but any guys on YouTube, did any guys take that yesterday? We called that pretty perfectly. Same as the pound as well. Pound did exactly the same thing. So, the euro and the pound played perfectly. I don't trade the euro. I don't day trade the euro, but if you guys did take it, well done. Now, what could we see today for the euro? Let's have a look. Let's draw on some new levels here. So this has been our levels that we've been talking about for the past few times here on the euro. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. It's why I would say to you guys, remember, keep these levels on your charts. They don't always have to get hit on the hour and a half that we are here. But if you keep them on your charts, you'll see how well they do get hit. Now, daily time frame here on the euro, look at this. So this is beautiful. This is why longs were so nice. This is what we spoke about last week. He held this massive support on the weekly time frame. It was a very nice weekly liquidity grab as well. See, look, huge. Look at this. Grabbed lows, held support. You're breaking higher. So our next target on the euro that we spoke about yesterday was all the way back up here. Now it's a pretty big. It's a big range. It'd be a big swing trade. I should have swung trade this actually, but now the only thing with where the euro is at compared to yesterday is we are right back at the highs of the range, and we're also tagging NFP highs as well. So yesterday, I'm still watching gold here, guys. Don't worry, I'm still watching gold on my other chart here. Gold's just gold's creating a little bit of a lower time frame range here. We got time. So that's what we said yesterday. Is there was a high chance you're going to come up and tag NFP highs. Well, you're now back at the highs. So what have you done in this range? You've created some space. You know, you created a low of the range, created a high, came down, grabbed the lows, then came back for the highs, and now you're coming back for the highs. So you've had your liquidity grab of the range. Could this now be the true breakout? So that's what I'm kind of looking at here. If you're gonna, when you have these ranges, before you're gonna get the true breakout of the range, you have the liquidity grab. Well, we've had that. So could this now be taken as the true breakout here? Yeah, I think it would make sense. So where would next targets be? Here. So let's get rid of this. Very nice closure yesterday. You know, nice breakout of the resistance. Could you fake out and close back below? Maybe. We'll cross that bridge maybe tomorrow. But as long as you hold above this, I think euro longs look smart here. Now, some weird noises going on. Now, the only thing is this is continuing to buy in the euro. Is you already have had, let me just see here. You've already had a pretty decent move up. That's why the longs were so nice yesterday. So I kind of look at this and I go, well, this is a pretty decent move now. You may even just kind of have more of a ranging day today. You do have big news tomorrow as well. So I'd be looking for the euro to probably come for a little bit of a pullback. You know, you did have this nice rejection here, but again, same as gold. You could be shaping up for a bit of a morning star where you might come down, grab these lows before then pushing higher. So could you have some intraday shorts down into the 7 a.m. lows? I think it makes sense. So you've got 7 a.m. lows. Then again, though, look at this. This is why the euro is a little bit tough here. You just came down, you grabbed lows, you're holding support. Euro is a little bit tough here. You know, yesterday we jumped on and euro was easy to read. Clear double top targets, clear NFP highs, you know, clear long buying opportunities. Well, when I kind of jump on today and I'm like, you know, I can see it kind of going down, I can see it going up, I go, okay, cool, maybe it's just a day where you just need a bit more patience. You know, some days you'll jump on, it's super easy to read, you jump on and it's like, oh, it's, you know, this trade's jumping right out in front of me. Sometimes you'll jump on and you go, you know what, it looks pretty rangy in here with big news tomorrow. Personally, I don't really like the euro here. We had amazing longs yesterday on the euro. Today, I'll be happy to sit on my hands. So you could come down, you know, I look at this hourly time frame and go, you might come down and squeeze these lows. I think the safest trade here would be if you can fake out from here, then I'd keep buying. If you want to short it down into 7 a.m. lows, I mean, there's the potential scalp if you break out on like a 5-minute or something. But keep in mind, you are still very bullish. So do you want to short a little scalp when you have been as bullish? Maybe if you made money yesterday on the euro. You know, if you made money yesterday on the euro and you want to maybe risk a little bit of that profits from yesterday to short a little scalp, you can. But for me personally, I'm not a huge fan of the euro today. I think it was much nicer yesterday. Let's have a quick look at gold. We'll have a look at the pound as well. Gold kind of just creating a little bit of a range here, which is good. You know, range here is good. We need to create a bit of a range before then we can maybe come down, grab some lows before going higher. So gold creating some room, which is good. Oh, look at this NQ breaking higher. Yeah, CN's still in the longs. Sean, where are you at, Sean? Look at this NQ having a lovely breakout here. Nice. You still holding, Sean? Still holding? Where did you get it from? I'm in at 23,850. 23,850. Yeah, Sean's been in short since 23,850. No, I'm joking. Long. Where is your chart? I thought you were in from way lower than that. No, you're from the hourly flip. 837. So you're in from down 837. Yeah, like there. Yeah, that's beautiful. Nice. That's a nice pre-London trade, to be fair. That's a very, very nice trade. You're probably managing risk there as well. Yeah, I like that. Very, very nice trade, man. Good job. Yeah, no signals. Yeah, there's no signals, so no credit, actually. Bad trade. Terrible trade, actually. Nah, nice trade, nice trade. How many trades do I do a day? Probably average 1 to 2 a day, maybe. 1, 2. Wait, where are we looking at? 3 trades this day. 2 trades this day. 1, 2, 2, 2. About 1 to 2, maybe. 1 to 2 trades a day. Do you not follow my Telegram? No, I got banned. I got banned for saying sir. Yeah, I probably average 1 to 2 a day. Depends on the markets. Depends on the markets. Sometimes the markets might give me 3 opportunities in a day, or it may require me to give my trade 3 chances. Some days it might be 1, some days it might be none. What would you suggest to a rookie trader who is just a month into learning trading, doing decent with practice money account, will be using real money after 2 weeks of more practice? Well, firstly, man, good job on getting started in your trading journey. 1 month in is amazing. We've got a long road ahead, and give yourself realistic expectations. Regardless of what you may have seen on social media, you're probably not going to start making money in the first couple of months. It took me 2 years to gain any sort of consistency in trading. So come in with a very realistic expectation. May have a breakout soon here on gold. Come in with a very, very realistic expectation that, for the first year, I might not overall make money, but that's okay. Do this for the right reasons. Do this because you want to be a trader for the next 5, 10, 20 plus years. Personally, I wouldn't jump into real money. I would take advantage of the opportunities that we have here on Topstep. Because practice account and even trading combines is a whole different world of emotions. So practice account, I personally didn't really trade practice and demo accounts for very long. I just kind of wanted to jump right in, and I don't think that's a smart thing to do. But for me, it was the best way that I could learn. Look at that double bottom here this morning. That was a perfect trade. Look at you go break. That was an absolute textbook trade. The biggest, hurdle to overcome in trading is mastering yourself and mastering your emotions. Well, you're never going to get that from a practice account. I would just start off small. Keep tuning into these free live streams. The Topsteppers created something amazing that you can watch people trade from pretty much every single session for absolutely free. So keep tuning into the free live streams. Ask lots of questions and just try and take it all in and find a style and a strategy that works best for you. The way I might trade might be different to the way some of the fast markets guys trade. Try and find a style and strategy that resonates with you. And then, start to slowly build your own trading plan. But don't rush it. Take your time. You're starting on a career that a career and skill that you can literally keep for the rest of your life. So don't rush it. People go to university for 3 to 7 plus years to become, to do jobs that, you could argue trading is way more, gives you way more freedom and everything like that. So don't put any pressure on yourself to say, what, I'm going to start making thousands a month in the first couple of months. Realistically, it's not going to happen, and that's okay. We're in this for the long game. May have some longs here soon on gold. Your tag and lows starting to no top wick on this 15. You may flip bullish here. I'm watching the 30-minute here on the currency, and it's looking like we want to drive a little bit higher. Even just to kind of play this range. It's not the biggest of ranges, but at least if we're getting in at the lows, we can manage at the highs and see if you break higher. I'm wondering if gold is going to come for a little bit of a head and shoulders play before going lower. And longs up into here for London session would actually be a pretty decent range. So I'm watching for potential longs here. But yeah, don't jump into real money, because there's a very high chance you'll lose it. And if you put in, money you can't afford to lose, then you probably just quit trading. Take some breaks can be a reasons. Breaks can be a reason. I'm not really too sure what you mean, man. I mean, breaks in trading could be good, definitely. Breaks can definitely be good. Join the Traders Club, fella. Figure out if you enjoy it and join a group that trades. Bounce ideas with them and soak in knowledge like a sponge. Yes, absolutely, Damon. Yeah, so true, James. You're going to get frustrated, but you need to learn to manage it and take your time. Absolutely. Absolutely. Topstep and Aaron streams are a game changer. Great combination. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Absolutely. It's what we're doing here. Trying to build a good community of good people here where you guys can tune in every single day for free. And if we get trades together, amazing. But if you guys watch the analysis and see how it plays out, we'll all absolutely learn something. Daily loss limit for 100. Personally, I have it set as 750. 750 for me is more than enough. If I'm losing more than 750 on the day, I'm probably just not feeling that day and I should be out. But I could probably even do maybe like 500, to be honest. 500, I was debating even switching it to. But to be honest, if I'm down like 400, depending on how many trades I've given me, I'll just lock myself out and just stop for the day anyway. Let me see here. Make it a little long here on gold in a second. Passed my 150k. Amazing, man. Well done. Absolutely amazing. Second combine thanks to Copper Rangers yesterday. And that massive gold pullback this morning. Nice. Beautiful work, man. Good job in passing the combine. Absolutely amazing. Thanks to the firms. I'm starting with a small $1,000 account. 1 to 3% bets. 1 to 5 trades a day. If I can prove I can double that, I will put another 10,000. Personally, I would not do that. There's no such thing as flipping accounts in trading. You will never flip an account consistently. 1 to 5 trades a day is way too many. At 1 to 3%, there's no such thing. We're not here to double accounts. If the S&P on average does 10% a year, what makes you think that you can do 90% more than that and flip it and do 100%? 100% return is insanely unrealistic. And again, this is why I don't like the social media world of trading, because there's people out there that are promoting these account flipping videos that, $100 to 100,000. It does not work. It doesn't work. There's no such thing as flipping accounts. You will not flip your account. Or if you do, I can guarantee you, you will lose it at some point. I say that from experience. I've been down all of these trading rabbit holes. There is no such thing as account flipping. It does not work. It might work once or twice. At some point, you will lose everything. That's the pure gambling mentality of traders. Now, I'm not saying that to you, but for most people, that's why most people lose at trading, because they just get stuck in that gambling mindset for so long. So remove them expectations as soon as you can, because only being a month in, I had all them hopes and dreams as well that I'm going to flip these accounts and I'm going to trade 10k to 100k and life's going to be sweet. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. Nice rejection here, guys. I might see if we get long here at this 5-minute close. Grabbing the lows, breaking out. I might see if we can get longs here. I'll probably just trade the micros here on Goldie. So again, with the opportunities we have here on Topstep, there's no need to even be in the mindset of trying to flip accounts. Like, why do we need to flip accounts? We got access to trading over 5 XFAs here on Topstep. Sorry, not over 5. Maximum 5 XFAs here on Topstep. Why do we need to even be in the mindset of flipping accounts? And a lot of people say, if I flip this account, then I'm going to spend that money on doing a challenge or doing a combine. It's like, that's the complete wrong way to go about it. trust me, I've been through all the account flipping and, you know, massively over leveraging personal accounts, and you will lose everything and some, and then you'll end up coming back and be like, well, not only did I just waste time, but I also built a load of bad habits that I now can't get rid of. And that's what you don't want to do. Unlearning stuff in trading is actually very hard, especially with unlearning bad habits. So if you can get into the, you know, the correct little pullback here, and we'll see if we get long here on gold. If you can get into the correct mindset and have realistic expectations now, I promise you, you will thank yourself in the future. Like I say, this is a career. This is a career that you're going to have for the next 5, 10, however many plus years. Some of the best traders in the world. I think some of the best traders will probably do. Let me see. I think, look, we're trading 100,000 here on Topstep. If you do 1%, or let's say I realistically go for like maybe 2 to 3% a month. Realistically, sometimes more, sometimes less. You know, some months I might make 5 to 7%. Some months I might lose 1%. A realistic goal, or a realistic yearly goal, I would say is around like 20 to 30%. Realistically, so if you're doing, like, let's say if you're doing 2 to 3% a month, well, on just 100k, that's 2 to 3,000 a month. That's fantastic. You know, you trade more accounts, you start copy trading. That's how you're going to make more money in trading. You're not going to make more money in trading by over leveraging smaller accounts, unfortunately. I think some of the, you know, I mean, even if you look at like a hedge fund, what does a hedge fund do a year? Maybe 5%, 5 to 7, maybe. Some of the best traders well maybe do like, I don't know, 30 to 40% a year, maybe. You actually go study what are the, I mean, don't get me wrong, there'll be some outliers where they've done like hundreds of percent, but that'll be in crazy market conditions. But on average, I would say, you know, 20 to 30 to 40% is huge. That's what, yeah, exactly. That you know, that's our only job here with day trading, is to do on average somewhat better than the S&P, which on average does around like, you know, what, 8 to 10%. If you're doing more than that, you're doing very well. Very, very well. And if you can prove that you can do that consistently, there's so many opportunities to get capital these days that you don't need to trade $1,000 account or anything less than, you know, what we can get access to here. Gold having a little bit of a squeeze here, guys. I'm trying to get long here, but we've got this 30-minute close in 2 minutes, so let's just see how this 30 minutes is going to close. But these longs are looking nice. You broke out, you held it, you're squeezing higher. Bottom wick on the next 30, and I would like to see if I can get this. Trading is like the ending of Kung Fu Panda, where there is that scroll that was just a mirror. Yeah, absolutely. The secret is there's no secret. It's in understanding yourself. Yeah, I love that, man. That's amazing. Yeah, I think he actually did though. Yeah. Tom Hogarth's just got incredible trading psychology. I have seen him do some pretty huge percent returns, to be fair. The more I trade, the more I realize how good the S&P is. Yeah, it can be very clean, man. It can be very, very clean. Let's see how's NQ moving. NQ is still breaking out here. NQ was the very nice buys here. Good job on that trade, Sean. It was a very, very nice trade. Just insane numbers. Yeah, ridiculous numbers. Ridiculous. Realistic target on 100k? Like, yeah, like, I don't know, yeah, 2 to 3%, you know. 2 to 3,000 is more than enough. You copy trade once you get consistent. More than enough. Very nice. Maybe just quickly missed this little gold scalp here. What's that? 24 ticks. Very, very nice squeeze here. Look at this. 15 looking nice. Nice 15-minute liquidity grab here. I mean, bottom wick, and I still do like this. This is a very decent grab the lows in a breakout. Trying to see if we can take this higher. We have higher upside targets than this anyway. How do I add 2 screens? Just here. You can do it in here. See here. You can add as many as you want to. If you unlink them, then you can make the charts different. So see, this is linked as white. This is unlinked, so therefore I can make this whatever I want to. If they were the same linked color, then they would be the same charts. So if I link this to white, it will go to whatever I have here. So let's see here. It's a pretty decent 30-minute closure there. First 30-minute of the London Open. Nice 15 closure. Let's see if we can get a decent bottom wick here. I wouldn't mind seeing if we can get long. A little bit of a bottom wick. I wouldn't see if we get long here. Something like this. Yeah, nice. Let me see. I'm going to take... Make sure I'm on the right one. I'm going to take a little bit here. Let me change this to ticks. To copy trade, you can just do it here in the settings. Pick your lead accounts, pick the accounts you want to copy. You can do it all here. Instant bottom wick on the currency as well. If we come down a little bit more, might think we get long for at least 5 micros. See if we can come down a little bit. But yeah, decent 15-minute closure. Tag the lows nice and bullish. I think next target would be coming back up into this head and shoulders, and who knows, if we break this level, what, or maybe all-time highs, I'd be risking off any closure back below, let's say 87-ish would be a pretty good exit. Even a bearish 15-minute closure here would be a good exit. So you'd be risking maybe, what were we risking? Maybe 20 ticks, $100, $200 maybe. See if we can drive this. There's nothing to say that gold can't just continue flipping bullish and, you know, come up for some big highs again. 4 hour on the currency is looking all right. 4 hour on the futures, yeah, I mean, it looks a bit better. The currency is back at that resistance, that's all. But there is an instant bottom wick on this 30-minute. No top wick at all. No top wick on this currency. You can see maybe the currency at least pulling back up into like what, 54, and seeing if you can actually just break back high and keep hitting these all-time high levels. You had this break below, broken right back above, so you've got nice fake out confirmation. You've held it. So you're trying to see if this can squeeze higher. To be honest, I would like to see if we can hold this up in some new all-time highs. Because looking at this, and given how bullish gold has been, I wouldn't mind to see if you can keep squeezing. But let's see. Let's see. Might tag me in for 2 more here. I'm trying to get long, long five micros here. There we go. So I'll be risking here maybe. I don't want to see us come down this low. I want to see if we can hold this level and flip back bullish and come all the way back up into these highs. If we don't, let's see this fine. It's a pretty steep 5-minute squeeze. What would we be risking? Risking $200. I can risk $200. See, I don't want it to fake out like this and close back into this range. Is what I don't want to see. If we do that, then I'll manage aggressively. I want to see us break out of this range and actually this 30-minute to flip back bullish. Don't start messing around in here, Goldie. But yeah, risking about $200 at a worst case hard stop. Let me have a look here at NQ. Hey, look at this. NQ on a beautiful run. NQ's on a very, very, very nice run here. Very, very nice run. How do you unlink both screens? So you see the link, the white dot here. So if you go here, you can just turn this off. So if I turn this on, they'll both be gold. If I turn it off, then I can change it to whatever I would like to change it to. Same as if you have your order panel on the side as well. Whatever it is set to on the side will be what you will be trading on the same. And you can even change this to, you can change this to red, for example. And then if you had like a order panel on the side, if it was red, it would execute whatever you have here. Does NY pre-market open have a strong influx on gold? Yeah, pre-New York can be amazing. Pre-New York can give some amazing moves on gold. Nicer than the New York Open, actually. It was NFP on Friday, so Friday doesn't really count. Where was the push yesterday? Yeah, here, like, you know, here, you start to find some support, so this way you'd be buying gold pre-New York, then you end up having a nice push in the New York Open. So yeah, pre-New York can be sometimes, to me personally, nicer than the New York Open. Let's see. Look at this NQ. Are you still holding this, Sean? Are you still holding this? Sean's got. I wonder if he's got lettuce hands or not. You reckon Sean's? Yeah, he's got lettuce hands. Still holding. Nice. Good man. It's a very, very, very nice trade. Very, very nice trade. That's a beautiful trade. No lettuce. No lettuce hands around here. Yeah, good man. Sean with the diamond hands. Great trade. You guys on YouTube wonder what I'm talking about. Sean on Zoom has got this amazing NQ trade. It's very, 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 very nice. Oh, Damon got it as well. Nice. Just closed out on NQ. Nice. Oh, been in NQ since 57.5. Wow, a few of you guys in NQ. Very nice. Sean, Patrick, Damon. Nice. All in NQ. Good job. Nice work, guys. NQ was a very, very nice run. I took my first NQ trade yesterday. The first trade in a while. I haven't really looked at NQ much recently, just because gold's been so good. But yeah, when gold was just ripping, I was like, let me just have a look at NQ, and I ended up having a really nice play. But this one here again, this is beautiful. This is again our plan to a T. You come down, you liquidate lows, you hold support, you have liquidity levels above. You know, you're buying that morning star play. Just super simple morning star. Absolutely beautiful. Let's see if gold's going to flip bullish here in this 30. I want to see us have a nice drive up here. Just closed. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Good job. Beautiful work. What's the best strategy to get access to a funded account? There's really such thing as a best strategy. So you kind of got to build your own plan and see what works. But I mean, obviously, we have to be intraday trading. If we close bearish here on gold in the 5 minute, guys, I may manage. I don't want to see this wick highs and come back lower. I want to see it just flip and drive. We're stalling. You know, we tagged lows and closed bullish, and now we're stalling. It's not really what you'd want to see after a liquidity grab. If this is a true here, grab the lows and a bullish closure, we wouldn't be stalling so quick. You'd be flipping and driving. So, may manage aggressively soon here on gold. Yeah, actually, no, I'm going to cut that. No, I'm closing that. I'm closing that. Minus 63 there. I don't like that. If we were going to drive, we would have done it already. We're just kind of messing around there. Like I say, if this was a true liquidity grab where you grab lows and close bullish, we would have pushed. So I'm closing that at $60. Minus $60. But yeah, there's no best strategy to trade. It's all about finding the strategy that works for you. For me, again, it depends on which. If you trade in London, I think gold's a great market to trade in London. You get good clean moves, and it's nice, and gold's nice enough that if you're still new to trading, it doesn't move that fast that you're really going to miss anything. Gold kind of gives you enough time to think about trades, and you know, gives you time to execute. Where sometimes, you know, if you're new to trading and trying to trade like, you know, NQ at the New York Open, it's going to go crazy and you're going to be all over the place. Whereas gold is much smoother and more consistent, I find. Good exit. Yeah, good exit. There's potential, you know, if we just flip bullish on the 30, I can just take it from there. But I kind of look at this 15. You know, if this is a true liquidity grab, we grab lows and close bullish. This 15 would just little bottom wick and drive with volume. But the fact that we're not driving with volume, And we're also at that hourly resistance level, which I'm watching here on the currency. You know, the reason for managing is, yeah, the 5 minute started to wick highs and close back below after trying to break back higher. And you're also back at this resistance on the currency. So you got resistance at 3,650, and you have support down at 3,645. So hourly is a little bit trapped here on gold on the currency. So I'm happy to manage aggressively and just kind of see if we can actually just break out of this range. I'm gonna say to you guys, cut the losses quick. It was a decent 30-minute closure, a decent 15-minute closure, where it was worth giving it a chance. But now you're right back at the resistance. If you start closing back below, then remember you got shorts as well. So if gold closes below this 45 level, you got shorts all the way back down into the lows. Stay reactive here. Stay very, very reactive. But yeah, currency is kind of a little bit trapped in here. Resistance, support. Like I said, if this was especially here, look at this 5 minute. See how this 5 minute here tagged these lows? Well, if that's a true liquidity grab again, then you would just push. But if you grab the highs and close bearish, well then that's not a true liquidity grab and you're going to come lower. So that to me there was what was looking nice. Where you actually could have had stops there. Because you came down, look at that, it's very minor but it's very important. You came down and you wicked the previous low. Well, there's your liquidity grab and a nice rejection. So that should be enough for us to drive. If we don't drive, then that's not a true liquidity grab and we're going to come lower. Therefore, you can just manage your trade straight away. So it's not about, like I say, being right or wrong. It's about, trading what we saw. What we saw was a 15-minute liquidity grab and a breakout. We saw a 30-minute breakout after having a decent fake out. So we execute the trade. But then once we see this, then we manage the trade. So we execute, and then we can manage. And that's why you can keep the losses small. Minus $60 is a good loss. Whereas if we were holding this trade, because we can't accept being wrong, then you'd be holding this trade thinking, damn, I should have got out when I know I should have got out. There's no thought process. We tagged the highs, we couldn't break out this range. Manage the risk. Simple. Simples. You always got to see the charts from that neutral perspective. And remember, like I say, if we start closing back below here, and you get a 30-minute fake out, you do have sells on gold. You got sells all the way down to these 7 AM lows, and even potentially these Asia lows as well. Do you use a time stop on gold? How do you mean time stop? It's mainly based off the price action and candle closures. New to trading? Well, welcome, man. Welcome. Do you stick to 1 or 2 and just work them through the day/week, or do you look at the chart? Do you look at what's trending? Go through everything and see what you like. I feel a bit all over the place. It's normal to feel all over the place, man. I personally just trade gold. Well, that's a lie. I did trade NQ yesterday, but 90% of the time, I'm just trading gold. And if you're new to trading, just my personal recommendations, people might have different opinions, which is completely fine. Me personally, if I was to go back and tell my younger self, what would I change? I used to trade, let's see if I can show you. I'll show you everything that I used to trade. I used to trade all of this. I used to trade all of these currencies. I used to go through these on a Sunday. Take me bloody ages. And then I would end up just getting too overwhelmed and too confused. So now for day trading, I personally love to just trade gold. And if I was to go back to my younger self, I would tell myself that less is more. And get good at just focusing on your one instrument that moves well in the session that you're trading. And it's consistent. For me, gold moves very well in the London session, very well in Asia, very well in New York. And I find it very consistent with the way that it moves. And it's not that erratic that it's kind of too hard for me to, make decisions very fast like NQ. Again, it's just my personal preference. So, yeah, I would say just focus on gold. Focus on the higher time frame. Don't try and sit there and watch the 1 minute or the 5 minute. Focus on 30-minute and higher time frame candle closures. And yeah, you'll have a much better chance. Look at this great exit there, guys. You'll have a much better chance at getting consistent. So where was our longs here? So we got long around. Where are we? Entry price. Let's do the top one. Doesn't really matter too much. 88.4. And we got out at 3688.1. 36. Is that right? That doesn't look right. No, we'll do the top one. 89.4. That was our trade. Look at that. Great exit. So we got out here. Our original hard stop was all the way down here. So what, we more than quartered our risk. We went from risking what, 50 ticks, 46 ticks to losing what, less than 10, 12. And the whole reason for exiting this trade and not just watching this hit my stops is this candle right here. Well, these two candles. There's no need for me to watch this hit my stops. You know, if I just end up just doing this, you know, just watch this push down, I'll look back and I'll go, why on earth was I holding that trade? You know, we tagged hit lows, held support, but then we tagged highs and held resistance and closed bearish. So you could have even cut it right on that candle closure. You have to do it right there, but you know, as soon as that candle closes against you, well, your breakout's now invalid. Manage the risk. Otherwise, you hold the trade and you're now sitting in this and you go, damn, I knew I should have got out this trade. Well, I could have cut it here at minus 12. I'm now minus 50. Well, I can't cut it at minus 50 because I could have cut it at 12 before. And before you know it, you've hit your whole daily loss limit. How much of an impact does having a daily bias? Yeah, daily bias is very important. News, I'm just, you know, being aware of what news is coming up for that day. But for me, my daily bias is pretty much already in place. The news is just volume. Like I say, 30-minute fake out here, there's potential for shorts. You know, you broke below, you broke right back above, held support. So cool, longs make sense. If you close back below, cool. Then we react to the fake out back to the downside, and then you can go short. And you've also got this hourly looking like it may close bearish, so you may actually get nicer sells at 9 AM London time. Let's see. Hey Aaron, 1 year deep into trading, and I had really good success at the first half. Passed the vows and got a payout, but then over trading and emotions took over and haven't been able to bounce back since. I mean, good job on, and you got getting a payout in your first year is amazing. I certainly didn't see a single dollar from trading in the first year, so I mean, you're doing something right, which is amazing. So you have to kind of look at, is it the strategy that's not really working, or is it me? For the most part, you know, if you've passed accounts, you've got payouts, the strategy is probably pretty good. And it could just be something that you need to work on. So just get good at recognizing your emotions and journal your emotions. The same way you do is when, you know, people journal their trades. Well, make a journal for your emotions and recognize what triggers certain emotions and how to stop doing that. You know, I've said this before, but people think that, you know, trading is about becoming an emotionless robot. That's not actually true. It's about recognizing what triggers certain emotions and how to react differently off it. You're never going to get to a point where, you know, like I say, you know, even yesterday, you know, you guys saw me yesterday. Where are we? Let's go back here. Yesterday, gold had a huge move here, and I didn't get any of it. It just kind of pushed without me. I didn't get any of it, and I would be lying if I said I didn't have FOMO here. I absolutely had fear of missing out here, and the old me would have been trying to revenge shorts here, you know, and it keeps pushing up. But the new me is like, okay, cool. We've had a huge push up. I didn't get it for whatever reason. Well, what can I do? I can sit here and revenge trade, or I can accept it and walk away and know that the charts are going to be here tomorrow. So it's not that I don't still feel emotions. It's that I just react to them very differently. So recognize that you have a certain emotion and just accept it and do something different. You know, if you feel like right now, maybe you feel a little bit emotional because, you know, you maybe took a little bit of a loss here. It's fine to feel that emotion. Just accept it and walk away and come back tomorrow, or come back, you know, in a couple of hours. Use these amazing features that we have here to lock yourself out for a couple of hours. But journal your emotions as well. Don't just journal your wins and your losses, journal your emotions. What did you feel going into this trade? What did you feel coming out of this trade? These are all things that you need to get good at. and have a roadmap of what to do when you feel certain emotions. A lot of people feel emotions, you know, they feel FOMO or hesitation, and then they get annoyed at themselves and then start reacting off it and taking loads of trades. But if you feel FOMO, you go, okay, cool. Feeling a little bit of fear of missing out here. Cool. There you go. Log yourself out. Come back later. Simples. Trading will never get easy. You know, I still get times in the market. I'm like, man, trading is hard. You know, it's never easy. But what you don't want to do is during the hard times just absolutely tilt and ruin all of your gains. You know, trade smaller size, accept it, and wait. I really like your risk management. You do it without hesitation. Thank you, man. That's risk management's the absolute key. The execution part is the easier part. Managing your risk when you're wrong is the most important part. That's where most people go wrong. They can't accept being wrong. And that's why most people have such big losses that outweigh all their wins. As you can see here, now this isn't, you know, sometimes I have bigger losses than this, but you kind of see here, like my losses are pretty small in here. And that's not because I'm right all the time. It's because I can quickly admit when I'm wrong. And I'm okay with being wrong. I don't care about being wrong. I also don't care about being right. All I care about is trading what I see. And what I saw here was a fake out, holding support, trying to get this 30-minute flip. Didn't work. Cut it straight away. There's no emotions. Who cares? It's just a trade. This one trade isn't going to define me. The only way it does is if you're over leveraging. And that's why most people can't cut losses, because they can't accept the loss. If you can't accept the loss, don't take the trade. I accept the loss before I even take the trade. Like you guys saw when I was taking this trade, I was going on and I was going here and I was going, okay, let me change this to $1. Let me see how much I'm actually risking. Oh, $200. I'm absolutely okay with that. If $200 is too much for you guys, then, you know, reduce your risk. Make it $50, make it $100. Yeah, that's very true, Paul. Trading is easy. Trading well is hard. That's it, man. Making money, you know, trading here is easy. Just you press a button and, you know, it goes up or down. But trading consistently and well, like you say, is very hard. Absolutely. Because it's all about managing yourself. That's why I don't really watch too many trading videos anymore, but I absolutely love to watch trading psychology videos of people who are, you know, trading way bigger size than I am and learning from people's wins and losses, but more so from a psychological perspective. That's why I think, you know, there's many of good trading psychology books out there that you guys should definitely read. Yeah, it's holding support here, but to be honest, I look at this currency chart on the hourly. To me, this is looking like we want to squeeze lower. This is looking like a top wick on the 9 AM candle, and you're going to get some decent shorts back down into this 7 AM low. I think it'll come down and fill in this 7 AM wick, which is kind of what we spoke about at the start, but it gave a reason for me to tag longs before going short. So I think we may go. You may get shorts. Look at this. So here was our little bit of a range. You know, in hindsight, maybe we could have just waited for price to break out, but I was happy to give it a shot. But you can kind of see here's our range. You know, you're stuck in between here. You've broken it. You've held it. You're now breaking out. So this is now price breaking out. So to me, this next candle could probably look something like this. It'll probably look something like this. That's how I would imagine this next candle is probably going to look. If this hourly closes nice and bearish like this, top wick at 9 AM, and then continue selling down into these lows. That's a pretty beautiful drawing as well. Look at that. That's a work of art. So yeah, I think sells into pre-New York, you know, make the most sense here. And the thing is, you know, if you see this now and you go, oh, damn, I've missed the move. Well, when you top wick on the next hour, down into these lows, you have 60 ticks. That's amazing. That's more than a big enough range. And you can all easily come all the way back down for Asia lows as well. So you have plenty of room here. How much leverage would you realistically need to make 200 to 300 a day? Making safe bets with slightly above average skills. Again, it's just a percent game. Just reverse engineer it. Like I say, if you're making 2 to 3% plus a month, you're doing very well. So just kind of reverse it from there. Like I say, even though it's 100k, if you're making 2 to 3,000 a month, that's fantastic. We'll kind of break that down to what it would need to be a day. But again, you're not going to get good trades you're not going to make money every single day. It's not going to happen. You're going to have good days, you're going to have losing days. You don't judge yourself based on how you perform day to day. You look back at your month or you look back at your quarter and you go, oh, cool, that was a really good quarter. You're not paid off how you perform today or how you perform tomorrow. You're paid off how well you perform over the next couple of weeks and couple of months. Can you recommend one book? Plenty, man. I got loads of good books. Trading in the Zone's obviously a good one. Tom Hogarth's Best Loser Wins. Fantastic one as well, because that's what we're getting good at. We're trying to be getting good at losing. Like I said to you guys, you know, we're in the business of losing. So we want to become good losers. So they're my two top ones. Thanks to you, I've developed a lot more patience. Amazing, Daniel. Studying the 30-minute time frame was a very good tip. Yeah, amazing, man. That's what we like to hear. Beautiful work. Zoom guys, give me 2 seconds. That's amazing work. How do you keep a positive mindset through a rough patch? I just take, you know, I can take a break. I always remind yourself these charts are going absolutely nowhere. So if you go through a quiet time or a rough time, just accept it and you know, take a step back. You know, jump on a combine, jump on a practice account. I always tell myself, you know, I used to think the markets move so fast, but you always have to remind yourself. It's like, if I don't trade, let's say if I don't trade for the rest of this week and I come back next week, there's still going to be trades next week or even next month. You know, the markets are going nowhere. But if you keep going on tilt and blowing up, you won't be here to trade another week. So just accept the markets are going nowhere. Oh, where's my screen gone? Accept the markets are going nowhere and be okay with taking a step back. You know, like I say to you guys, you're not going to make money every single day or every single week. It's part of the business. It's part of trading. So, YouTube, guys, we've been off about an hour and a half. I'm going to take the small $60 loss. You may get more sells on gold closer to 9 a.m., down into them 7 a.m. and Asia lows. But I will see you guys same time again tomorrow. Great session today. Good small quick loss. And I'll see you guys same time again tomorrow. Trade safe, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.